Because when you go back to the King James Version Bible, what languages were they translated from? The whole Old Testament was translated from the Hebrew. So King James had set up, and I found out something. You had two other versions of the English version of the Bible before King James. One of them was translated by the authority of King Henry VIII, and there was another one. I forget the other authorized translation. But the one that we all know, we go by, is the 1611, the King James version, where I believe he had, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he had 72 scholars, I believe it was either 72 or 54, something like that, that had, they knew the Hebrew and the Greek, and they went word by word, and they translated it. So the Bible that you're reading, the King James Bible, you saying you got to be in the scriptures. Well, everything that you're reading in the King James Bible, it's Hebrew and Greek that was translated into the English. Yeah, good. Hold the mic.
This is when you look in the front of the Bible, the King James, it says the Holy Bible contains the Hebrew and Greek scriptures.
That's right.
Translated out of the original tongue, and with the former translations diligently compared and revised.
What's the
Ho. Diligently compared and revised. You know what that means? If they messed up, you had the scholar come back, go over it again. Oh, we went off on that one. Let's revise that. Let's change. No, let's put that in. Okay, and we're doing that right now. We are revising the. Look at the word revise. We're revising this word because we go into certain words in the King James, and then we go into the Hebrew and see that it means something else. So they went deep, but they didn't go deep enough.
Yeah.
So the Most High put the Spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahushua put the Spirit on us to go into these scriptures, all right? The water to Ariah and Yaquab and Mashah that had brought us to this truth and gave us the basics, beyond the basics, to learn, to understand the Hebrew. To understand the Greek, to understand how to break these scriptures down. To understand precept upon precept, line upon line. We learned that from Ariah, mainly Ariah. Yaquab went into the scriptures, Mo went into the scriptures too, and Mo was a balancer, because he was supposedly under the sign of Libra, so he's a balancer. But Ariah went into the Hebrew, and he went into like the deep breakdowns of the scriptures, like the books of Daniel, the books of Revelation, and so forth. And I'm gonna say this: Ariah didn't break down everything. Like for example, he never went into Daniel the 11th chapter, which none of you guys will go into it because you don't know it because Ariah didn't teach it to you.
Right.
And if we roll up on any camp and we ask you some points in the book of Daniel the 11th chapter, you would know you make up some shit. Well, guess what? The Spirit jumped on us, and we broke down the whole book of Daniel, the 11th chapter. Okay. We broke down, and then this demon Nate said, and one of the things the 12th chapter, the 11th chapter. Remember? Because he's mad because he can't break it down, man.
The 12 feathers.
The 12 feathers. Because he's mad because the Spirit that jumped on us to break it down. And then the Cornelius thing. The Cornelius thing, that's why we got kicked out of school, because we were pushing the Cornelius thing being the Jake, and you couldn't see it, nigga, you slow belly. Then you got it like 15 years later, and then you break it down. You didn't even say, well, look, at one time I didn't believe it, but I went through it, and I got to apologize to Tahar and Gabar and the rest of them guys, But that's the reason why we got kicked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you are a super demon, man. You a straight up demon. And then the people on YouTube, they're watching you. They're watching us. The people on YouTube, they're watching us. They're watching GMS. They're watching you. They're watching Zabak. They're watching King of the Two Turds. They're watching Queen of the Two Turds. And then this guy Zabak, I was watching a video where this Edomite asked him, do you keep the law? And then he says, like the snake that he is, well, we try to keep the law. But you know that Most High give us grace. And I knew exactly what he was saying because he committed adultery, so he's trying to justify that adultery that he committed. Right?
This is Titus chapter 1 verse 9. Holding fast the faithful word as he hath been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake.
Yeah, and that's why we say you got paid off. Because and we're going to go into the chip too. Because you did a video where you call yourself breaking down a chip. And then you said that we said it's the RFID chip. And then you went into the RFID chip. And then you said that it's a GPS and you can't use it to pay for nothing. Well, we're going to show you that you can use the RFID chip, the RFID technology to pay for things. So we caught you in another lie. There's more?
One of them, even a prophet of their own, said the Cretians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith.
And so that's what we're doing, as commanded by the scriptures. We're rebuking them sharply. Go ahead.
Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny Him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
Yeah, they reprobate, you know. And it says in 2 Corinthians, what is that, 13 and 5, it's about the reprobate. That you should examine yourself. You guys are not examining yourself. And then we're cutting you, so if you don't examine yourself, we're throwing the mirror in your face. And we're cutting you with the scriptures. So you know you're getting cut because you ain't making a comeback, man. Like I said, you got people that watch on YouTube and they see GMS, they see Nate Satan, they see well, they don't even see Comfy, he don't even make videos no more. You know, this clown, this idiot, King of the Two-Thirds, and they see that he's shallow, man. He's very shallow. You know, there was a video up with that big 5 hamburger eating, cheeseburger eating nigga with the spike wristbands and shit, like he's some type of great warrior. Man, this dude looks like it looked like he ready to set sail and shit into the blue yonder. The big fat water balloon, this helium balloon, man. This Edomite has asked him a question, so he says, "No, we ain't answering no question for white. As far as white people, we ain't answering no question today." So you know what the white guy did? He got a black guy. So he got the black guy to answer a question. Then the guy refused to answer the black guy's question, man. Why? Because they're not deep.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're very basic.
Yeah.
They're very shallow.
They don't know.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah 1 and 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
That's it. Unto the nations. Unto the nations, man. Now go ahead. Let's get back to this. And hopefully this will be the last time we deal with this situation. And we go back to where we're going into.
That's what that means. So we're saying that we are the family line of Judah. We are the family. When Judah came from Israel, came from Jacob. Jacob had Judah. Judah had the tribe of Judah. Jacob had Ephraim, had the tribe of Ephraim. Jacob had Gad. I'm saying Joseph. Jacob had Simeon, which brought the tribe of Simeon. You understand? So, but all of our surnames go back to who? Israel. That's what our name is. Okay?
Now, let me see. The brother, now I'm not picking on him because what happened with him just now, I don't get no respect. What does it mean we're the children of Israel? He couldn't understand. But when I asked him, what does it mean you are the children of his family last name, he understood. There's a spiritual disconnect amongst Israelites in this book. There's a disconnect. We're playing games here.
Pause that, please. Did you hear this goddamn? Do you hear this clown? He said we're playing games here. The only one that's playing games is you. You're the only one playing games, man. One week we don't know the Hebrew. Nobody knows the Hebrew. We're gonna get the Hebrew, and I don't know. I don't speak Hebrew. We don't know the name of the Most High. When we get in the kingdom, we don't get it. 2, you mention the name of the Most High. You break down Israel, meaning He's the Prince of God. All right. Yahweh says that